Monday, we are on daily devotion. Santa Ana winds are blowing. And where do you look when your faith is just tested and it feels like everything is against you? With the winds and everything today, what happens with the Santa Ana winds and why so many fires start happening is the winds push and test all of the power poles, right? And they test how strong they are. And if they're not strong enough, they fall down and they start a fire and they lead to more destruction. And it gets crazy and it's not good. What happens to your faith when it's tested? That's the question today. Sorry, Instagram, we had a quick pause there. I had a phone call coming in. So Instagram, let me know if you're back on. Just give me a little emoji. Make sure we're back on. By the way, good to see everybody. If you didn't notice, it's a Monday and I'm doing daily devotion. That's a good thing. Went surfing with Huntley super early this morning and just having a great day. So wanted to get on and get the daily devotion in today. We're going to be doing a lot of things this week, so we want to make sure and get this one in at least. What do you do? Where do you look when your faith is tested? There's a scripture, I believe it's Psalm 121 and 1, and it says this. It says, I look to the hills from where my help comes from. It's actually, a lot of people say, well, yeah, I look to the hills. That's where God is. No. If you go into the original language of that scripture in the Psalms, it was actually a question. And David was asking the question. He said, do I look to the hills from where my help comes from? And then really the original language says, no, I look to the Lord. And what he's saying is, look to the hills. What does that mean? Well, David, you got to understand, David was a military strategist. He was a military mastermind. And so when he said, do I look to the hills? Well, he was looking for strategic backup. He was looking for people to come in, reinforcements. So in other words, he was trying to tell us, I don't look to the hills for my help. I don't look to military strategy and reinforcement. I look to the Lord for my help. You see, David understood that the Lord helped him fight a lion and a bear and a giant and everything else that he faced in life. The Lord was always there. And so he learned not to look to man, but to look to the Lord. And so when your faith is being tested, I think you should shift. This is what we talked about, and I like to do these daily devotions, kind of, unpacking and expanding on what we preached. I joked yesterday. I said, I'm going to preach this message today. It's going to be one message, and it's like a 5-week series that I really should be going 5 weeks, and we're cramming it all in. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. It's actually one of our most viewed videos in the past little while. So go back and watch yesterday's service. And if you want to skip the singing, if you can't do the whole thing, just skip in and check the message out. But I said this. I said, when you take your finger and you go like this, right? Don't go cross-eyed, but put it right here and focus your eyes on it, right? And when you do that, there's something interesting that happens. Everything else behind your finger goes blurry. Do it. Have you noticed that? Right? Everything just goes blurry, right? Your camera does it as well. If you have portrait mode on your iPhone, you can tap on something and everything else blurs behind it. It's called something called, your eyes do it, cameras do it. It's called selective focus. It means if you get something that you just put your eyes on and you focus on it and you don't focus on anything else around you, all the distractions around you, you focus on that one thing, everything else blurs around you. If you focus on Jesus, and you know what else? You know how to make everything even more blurry, and this is something I learned in photography. The closer you are to the subject, and that's him, the closer you are, the more blurry it becomes, right? So I'm telling you, focus on Jesus when heartaches come. Focus on Jesus when you have pain. Focus on Jesus when your body is broken, when your mind is messed up, when you're trying to figure out how am I going to come out of this COVID situation, depression, anxiety. Focus on Jesus. This is a great place to start. Coming to church is a great place to start. Being around God's people is a great place to start. Had somebody literally yesterday telling me, you know what, I stopped going to my therapist after I started coming to church.